Settle down.
What is up, everybody? We are back with episode number 13 of the Settle Down podcast with Yaya's Gaming, Cody and myself here on our network of the Settle Down media group, I guess you could say. But we're here again this week. Got some exciting stuff coming up this weekend with the return of Boise State Football.
Yes, sir.
But first, let's get into our week. Yaz, how was your week and what have you been doing? What's new?
It was good. I started school up kind of last week-ish, but I'm kind of getting the flow of that. Just kind of staying on top of the assignments because it's my last semester, so I am ready to be done. So I've just been kind of grinding that out. And actually this weekend, I almost forgot. My best friend got married, and I was the best man of his wedding.
Yes.
And so took me and Isabel up there, and my whole family was there, and it was a good time. It was really fun, and it was a beautiful wedding. Gave a speech, but yeah, it was a good time.
Cool. Do you have any like funny stories that happened from the wedding?
My buddy Austin, I actually wasn't that drunk. My buddy Austin, though, who drove up from Reno, which is like 9 hours away, drank half a bottle of Jaeger himself.
Oh,
and was hammered. And so it was a good time. It was funny.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, there was some controversy, but I don't care to put that on the internet. So
yeah,
I'll tell you guys
totally
after.
fair. Yeah. Yeah. Cody, you have a special little milestone that happened on your TikTok. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I've been grinding since about May to kind of get my following up on TikTok. So I finally reached 1,000 followers the other day. I was actually going fishing that day when I reached it. So I will be going live, ladies and gentlemen. So whoever's going to be watching this, stay tuned. So I'm going to try my best to try to go live. I've been looking up some spots where the internet's a little bit better. Going to be probably doing a little bit more pond and lake fishing here as the weather gets a little bit colder, because the internet's probably going to be better. But I'm going to try to do my research and see if I can find some spots on the Snake River that have some better internet so I can go live. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah. Did you went fishing what day?
I went fishing this past Saturday. So not too long ago. And it was fun. It was fun. Catfishing was rough. They just didn't want to stay on the hook. I don't want to go into details because I'll just ramble on, but I did get some crappie fishing in and some smallmouth. Caught my personal best smallmouth, which was really fun. Believe it or not, I went out there and I was pulling into the spot, and there's this guy I follow on TikTok and Instagram, Silhouette Outdoors. His name's Scott Turner. Shout out him. Really good dude, has a really big following, probably the biggest outdoor channel in Idaho. I was thinking, to myself, I was like, man, what if I saw him out here? Pretty crazy. I was fishing by this bridge at this spot that I don't normally go to. It's a little bit deeper. And there's this guy fishing in this boat around the corner from the, we were at this bridge, and there's this pillar that's kind of blocking my view from him. But he was sitting there. Yeah, right? There it is right there. Yeah, slammed the night crawler, dude. Gave me a hell of a fight on some really small tackle. I mean, it tangled up my rod. Smallmouth bass, if anybody out there has done any of that type of fishing, I mean, they fight like hell. I mean, it was one of the biggest fights I've had in the fish. They just get after it. But the Scott Turner guy, he turns around on this pillar, and I noticed that it was him, and I was like, holy shit, like I did not expect him to see him out here, but I was just kind of thinking about it. And we just got to talking for about an hour and a half. He gave me some advice. It was really cool talking to him. He's a really good dude. Grew up in Boise. Was telling me a bunch of stories. So he was keeping me busy while I was doing some fishing. But yeah, so we're just going to be kind of switching over to probably some trout and carp fishing here once the catfishing season starts slowing down a little bit. And I'll probably start going live from places that I can go live. Probably be more ponds and lakes, but yeah, just look out for that. And my channel's right there, Whisker Fishing 208, YouTube and TikTok. So whoever's watching this, give it a follow, subscribe, like, also, shout out Yaz Gaming too. Go give that guy a follow if you guys are into big time gaming, dude. The guy's a fucking legend, dude. Get after it.
Got out. Love you. It's funny you hit your milestone. I remember you came into work one day and you're like, dude, I want to hit 1,000 followers. Like,
Yeah.
I want to go live and I want to do this. I remember because we were talking strategy of like your brand name, what you want to do, what type of content you want to post. I remember that day you came in and you're like, I want to do it. And then
Yeah.
you put in work after work, all the
Yeah.
video
Just,
stuff. I love to see it, you know.
yeah, just
Yeah.
kept posting as much as I could. I mean, anything was content in my eyes. If I caught a small fish, I was still posting. It finally hit an algorithm, and I went from like 350 followers to 1,000 followers in probably like 6 days, maybe 7 days. So it was pretty cool.
Wild.
Seeing that,
Wild.
and so pretty dope.
And that's
pretty
just
dope.
on TikTok. What are you at on YouTube?
YouTube, I think I'm at 24 subscribers.
It's actually not
And I'm
bad.
getting a few good videos. My last video that I posted, the smallmouth on YouTube, got like 2.7K. A few of my other videos hit 2.1. A few of them got like 1.5, 1.7, like that, and then some of them were duds. I mean, it is what it is. But that one
You're
hit
gonna
a
have
good
those
amount of.
videos.
Yeah, you're gonna have that. And this past one hit a good amount of viewers, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, we're just gonna keep grinding, keep putting out content. It's gonna start getting cold around here, so I'm definitely gonna have to layer up when I go out here in the next few months. But we're gonna
You need
we're
a
gonna
settle
keep
down
grinding,
hoodie.
bros.
That's what you need.
Yeah.
Settle
Yep.
down parka. We should get one of those.
Yeah, settle down parka, dude.
A leather jacket. Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah, it's cool. I speaking of settle down like brand stuff, I got one of those so I went to the fair on Friday after work with Garrett, Alan, and Scott. Shout out to you guys if you guys are listening. But we went to the fair. It was a lot of fun, and I had a couple drinks, and I walked by the stand. We're inside, and I see like just like a bunch of stuff. Some anime porn on the thing, just casual stuff. I look over and there's a bunch of bracelets, and I found an old like what is it? The I Heart Boobies ones.
That's funny.
Remember those?
That is fire, dude. That's
the
some
same
that
blue. I was like, I gotta get that
right there.
Yeah,
in
I
the
saw them,
colors too. And I was like, yep.
Yeah. That same day, oh my god, I got a haircut. It was, I'm sure if you guys can tell, I chopped off all my hair. I didn't want to. This wasn't the look I was going for. But I scheduled the haircut earlier that day, and I walk in after work. I don't really know what I want to do with my hair, but I know I like the length. I like it long. I feel like when my hair's short like this, I look like a kid. But so when I walked in, I told him what I wanted to do. Usually I do like a little kind of a fade on the, almost like the temple here. And then it just flows into like longer hair and then out the back.
Yeah.
So I tried to explain that to him, and I should have just showed him a picture of what I was talking about, but I didn't. And he starts getting the clippers and he's going. And then eventually he goes like, this way. He goes like all the way up to here, which is not like, I wanted it right here, right?
Yeah.
Here-ish. And then it just is like still long here just so it can go back.
Yeah.
He starts like trimming up and up and up and up. And I was just like, oh my God, like what the fuck? This is not
my
what
God.
And it's like even like back here. So then I had like a Joe Dirt style mullet. And I was like, this is not what I was talking about at all. Because I told him I like to push it back, but it's like long hair, so it's like pushed back, So yeah, he gives me like this Joe Dirt mullet. I look at it and I think I just told him, I was like, it's time to cut it off. Like just long hair gone.
Just send it.
He's like, really? I was like, yeah, it's time. And he just shaved off all the back, and he still kept it in this like pushback look. So I don't even know.
I kind of dig it.
Told G-Eazy, thank you. I mean, it's not bad, but I've been told G-Eazy I look like also a character from Peaky Blinders. That was a big one.
Yeah.
I got that from two different people. I got that from Garrett, and then Lindsay texted me and said that I looked like I was from Peaky Blinders. So I was like, oh, cool, full circle. But yeah, it was. I mean, my hair's not butchered, but this is not the length that I wanted.
It's not what you wanted though. So it's like,
yeah, the
you're
worst.
Not confident in it.
Yeah, that especially, like that's the hardest part is like the confidence thing. But I remember walking in to the barbershop, or at least on my way there, and I remember saying to myself, I was like, I've been pretty blessed. Like I've never had a haircut experience like go not my way,
bad,
or just like not been. Yeah, like maybe they cut too short, but it still looks good, kind of thing. I was only like sitting in that chair, remembering that 30 minutes ago, thinking that, and I was like, "Oh my god,
You
I
like
jinxed
jinxed
myself."
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I don't know, I'm not superstitious. I'm a little stitious.
It's funny.
Um,
I had a kind of a story similar to that. It
Yeah.
was one of our family friends' wedding last year.
Yeah.
And I went to the barber shop and I told her, I was like, I want a little bit off the top. Like I like to comb it over too, just kind of like you a little bit. And I was
Yep.
like, I just want a little bit off the top, but just enough that I can comb it over and then like trim the sides, right? This motherfucker goes like this.
Oh,
Buzz cut right down the middle. I was just like, well, I'm fucked. Like,
yeah,
it was like the week before the wedding. I was like, I'm going to be bald. Like, I was like borderline bald.
Yeah.
For the wedding. And I was just like, well, I couldn't do anything. Like, she'd cut it
Yeah.
all off. She cut it all off.
At that point, you're just like, fuck, gotta
Yeah.
fucking
And
try
so
your
then I
best.
was like, every time since then, I've been like, this is exactly what I want. Like, this is a picture, or like, I go over like several
Yeah.
times, but it's kind of
Yeah.
funny. Your story kind of reminded me of that one.
yeah, yeah. But other than that, I mean, that was the one downside. But could have been worse. Could have been that. I'm
It could
glad
have
he
been
didn't do
that.
that. Yeah. But yeah, cool. All right. Well, let's talk a little. This week, as everyone, well, not everyone, but as some people know, college football is back, and for us here in Boise,
We're
this
back,
means
baby.
Boise State football is back, and we're very excited. Got a watch party this weekend for our Boise State Broncos. They're playing at Washington, number 10 ranked team. But before that, I want to hear your guys' picks of just players to watch and be looking out for. Who you think is going to have a pretty big year? Cody, what's your pick for this year?
So this one's kind of I feel like this is one that not a lot of people are thinking of or kind of look at, but my pick is one of our defensive ends, Dimitri Washington. Last year he kind of got on my radar a little bit. I watched him live a few times at home. And dude, the guy has an absolute motor. He's a bigger dude. He's 6'3", 6'4", 270, 280. I see him on campus all the time. He, like I said, he's got an absolute motor, dude. He gets after it on the run, gets after it on the pass, and he had a pretty good season last year. I got some stats on him actually. I kind of wanted to look into that more, and last year he played in 10 games, had 9 starts, made 35 tackles, including 15 solo. He recorded 5.5 tackles for a loss, including 4.5 sacks, which is tied for the team lead last year. And then against UTEP, he actually notched a career high of 11 tackles, which included a sack and a second tackle for loss at UTEP. So that's my player to watch out for. I really think that guy's going to have a breakout season this year. I mean, we need him to. I think he's going to.
He's also a 6th year.
Yeah. He's, this is his final shot right here. I really think he's going to have a breakout year, and I'm pretty excited to see what he does. So that's my player to watch for our team. I think it's definitely an underrated one. Not a lot of people kind of look at that defensive end spot, but I certainly do. I think he is going to be a very, very key player to our defense this year. So I'm excited to see what he has to offer and what he does.
I know his issue has been for the past couple of years, last year not included. He's been hurt for a lot of
his
of his years. Which sucks out of a player. But yeah, I know that he's been hurt the last 3 years, so it's good that he got that pretty good season last year. I think he's going to be a solid player this year.
I think due for a blow up year, basically.
And unfortunately, I feel like that's a reoccurring theme with a lot of guys on our defensive line. It's just battling with injury, and I'm hoping he stays healthy, man. I mean, like I said, I've seen him on campus. He's looking good. He's looking big. So I'm excited to see what he's got to offer, and I hope he stays healthy, and I hope he gets after it, man, because I really like seeing him. He's got a high motor, and he loves to play the game. So I'm excited to see what he has to offer. So yeah.
Sean, what's your player to watch?
My player to watch this year is Mr. Stephen Cobbs. Static as his nickname. I think he's going to have Static Shock. Yes. I think he's going to have a good year. He had a great year last year too. He's another 6-year person. But yeah, I really like him as a wide receiver. I think that is something that we're not as strong in on the. I think our run game is solid. I mean, you could say Ashton Jennings to have a big year too, but I thought that was not. I didn't want to go that route because he just won an award for best freshman, like true freshman. But yeah, I think our run game is going to be solid, but our passing is going to be not an issue, but I think it could be problematic, especially against this team, Washington. So yeah, I think expect to have him a big year.
I kind of agree with that pick because in order for us to have a good run game, we got to be able to throw the ball too.
Got to be
like it goes vice versa. Like if you want a good run game, you got to throw the ball. So it's like he's got to have a breakout year if you want your Taylor Green and your Ashton Genty to have a breakout season. And Helani and shit. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
as long as he's a threat, you can make your other skill players a threat too. And so no, he's definitely got to be up there for a big year.
I'm gonna pull up some of his stats here. Let's see. Okay, so last year he had 29 receptions, with 396, almost 400 passing yards. It's pretty good. He averaged 13.7. He had 2 touchdowns. So he didn't have a crazy year last year, but still pretty good.
You also got to understand the year that they had last year. Different quarterback, different OC. Like no one's offensive stats look good. Like really.
Yeah, he had what? Who did he start playing against? Air Force, or no?
I think he had. If I'm looking at this correctly, I think he scored 2 tutties against UT Martin and UTEP.
UT Martin.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like he found the end zone in back-to-back games, 2 touchdown passes against UT Martin, then UTEP, and then I don't know, did he get injured after that, or was he still ready to go? And I think he got injured. I'm pretty sure because I mean I think so too,
because we didn't hear him towards the end of the year.
Yeah, my memory might be passing by, but I don't remember seeing him playing after those 2 games.
Yeah. New Mexico and Oregon State looks like Oregon State. Wait, whoa. I'm reading this backwards. Holy. No, it looks like he played. He had 2 receptions in our last game against Wyoming. BYU, he had 50 yards. Not bad. Colorado State, he had 91 yards.
But games like that aren't going to cut it. He's got to have.
That is true. BYU, he needs to have
8 to 10 touches. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's got to be kind of the workhorse besides Billy Bowens. So
if not him, somebody's got to step up. That receiver room has got to. You got to step up.
Somebody's got to take that leading role, and just kind of be a leader because
if you can't throw the ball, they're going to stack 9 in the box and good luck.
Yeah. So
Let's see. You know who else? Latrell Caples that's who led our. So last year, these are the leaders. Let me double check. Like
receiving leaders.
The depth chart that it's not the wrong year. Receiving leaders. Latrell Caples with 549, 4 touchdowns. Billy Bowens with 462 yards, 4 touchdowns, and Stephen Cobbs with 2 touchdowns and 396. So I think he'll have a better year this year. And like you said, we have a new offensive coordinator. So it's not Dirt Cutter anymore.
Yep.
So we'll see. I don't know. I'm excited for this year.
And a quarterback that is only getting better.
True.
Like
quarterback.
Let's another year to develop, a whole off season to develop. Like they didn't develop the way they should have in order to play last season.
No.
I only see it as positive, honestly.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, who's your player to watch?
I'm going with the defensive side of the ball, is like Cody, and I'm going with Markel Reed. He is a corner for us. He's a redshirt senior, one of the older guys in the group. Personally, I think their secondary has to step up this year.
Yeah, I
agree.
It's
outside of the receiving core, it's like the group with the most questions. Somebody got to step up. He's the guy that's got to do it. He's been the longest with JL Skinner leaving. He's got to be that guy. He's got to lock him down. I think it kind of starts with him, and it's going to set the tone for the secondary, especially against a Michael Penix and a Washington team. They're going to score points. We just have to know that they're going to score points. We just can't give up the long ball. We just can't.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think outside of the Washington game, the Washington game for me is different when it comes to this.
Yeah,
I think
agree.
overall he is going to have a good year and he needs to.
Yeah.
The Washington game is different because
Yeah.
of the type of offense we're going up against. But
Yeah.
I think Markel Reed got to step up the secondary and kind of lead that
Yeah.
pack. So
I think Cody's pick, what's his name? Dimitri Washington. We'll see how he does this game. If he has a really big game against Washington, this offense,
huge.
that'll have a good, I think it's a good turnaround for him for the rest of the year too. But yeah, I mean, with all of our players, I think with this team that we're about to be playing, it's going to be tough. It'll be a test. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we should check in on them after this week and see how they did.
Also, a little bit biased. I do have a class of Markel Reed, so it kind of like came to mind.
Yeah.
And I was like thinking about it anyways. But
yeah,
you know,
no,
he's a cool dude.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. All right. Well, let's talk about this. This is a team now, 10th ranked Washington. They've got. He's a Heisman favorite, if I'm not mistaken.
He is.
Michael
he
Penix.
is like third.
Yeah, this team. Whoever wants to talk about this is their depth chart right here. So this is the Huskies. Their offensive line, big boy Nate Kalepo. He is 327 pounds, 6'6". That is huge. We got another boys. I mean, they're not totally outsizing us in terms of that. I mean, I'm sure our defensive side is not that good, but yeah, Cody, add anything?
Yeah, I can go into this a little bit. UW, their offensive line, they're always big. They always got those big, those big Islanders on their team, Polynesian, Samoan guys on their team. Just kind of looking at our defensive line right now with our interior guys. So we got Herbert Gums, who's 6'1", 306. He's a pretty big dude. The only thing that I'm a little nervous about is he has been injured on and off for the last few seasons, and he's kind of stepping into that big role with Matlock leaving. So I think he's got to step it up, and he's got to come out, he's got to come out ready to play ball. And then on the other side, we got Braxton Felly, who's 6'1", 290, sophomore. And then our backup at nose tackle is Sheldon Newton, who's 6'3", 326. He's a senior. So I'm hoping that, especially on, the short yardage stuff and, that 1st and 10, 2nd and 10, they got those big guys up front because we're going to need it. I think our biggest issue is our lateral. Our lateral speed has killed us every year. Our sideline to sideline tackling has been pretty questionable. At middle linebacker, we have DJ Schramm, 6 foot, 230 pounds, 6th-year senior. He has been actually pretty decent for us. The only thing that I'm worried about, which I've been worried about in the past, is our lateral speed at that linebacker position, going sideline to sideline and making those big tackles. You got Dimitri Washington on end, and we have this new guy that hasn't got as much playing time. He did play a little bit last year, and I actually really enjoyed playing him. He kind of played in a lot of the games late, whether we were up or down. His name is Ahmad Hassanin. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
6'3", from Egypt.
Yep. 6'3", 272 pounds. He's a junior. I remember watching him for a while. I think he had a hell of a motor. He wants to be out there. He wants to make plays. I think we have to be able to put that pressure on Penix. We have to be able to get those guys in the box and be able to have him have to step up and make a bad throw, whether that's, a breakup from our linebackers or cornerbacks or safeties, or, an interception or even a fumble. We have to put,
that he doesn't want to do.
Exactly. We have to put pressure on these, we have to put pressure on these guys. I did hear that Washington did lose a good amount of offensive linemen last year. Yeah. So I think that could be good for us. The size, it gets me a little worried, but I think our speed on that defensive line can make up for it. If we can put pressure on that guy, and force them to run the ball, I'm hoping that we can, rally around and make those tackles. But I am a little skeptical, but if we, like I said, if we don't put pressure on Michael Penix, he's going to torch us all day long. He's a Heisman finalist for a reason, and we can't give him time to roll out of the pocket and move because that guy is mobile. You know, he's got a big arm. He's got a big arm, but he gets outside and he gets lateral. Those linebackers ain't catching him. He's going for
who do you think is someone
15, 20 yards a run if he gets open.
Who's someone that can stop him?
Honestly, man, like I think
you have to spy him.
Yeah, like who would you put? Like who would you put on him?
Honestly,
as a spy,
in my opinion, I really don't know. That's the biggest thing for me is I don't think we have any guys that can really sit there and spy him unless they get a jump on him. If they see that guy, step up and he's got nobody open and he starts running, I mean, those linebackers got to fucking take off and they got to get a head start on him because if they don't, he's going to run all day. The
problem is
run 15, 20 yards a run.
You can't stack 8 in the box because there's no way that they're going to run man coverage on these Washington receivers. I just looked it up.
No shot.
Jalen McMillan and Rome Andunze, I'm saying it wrong. They are Washington's 1 and 2 receivers. They were both ranked in the top 15 in receiving yards in the nation last year, and they both had over 1,100 receiving yards apiece.
Yeah, you can't put one-on-one man coverage on these guys.
You cannot throw these guys one-on-one. Somebody has to step up in the box.
What's your guys' biggest question mark going into this game? So like mine, I would say I don't really know how we're gonna do on offense even. That's a question mark for me. I really don't know. Yeah, we'll get into that in a sec. But like, do you guys have a big question mark that you guys think is?
I do.
What about you?
My biggest question mark is it's kind of a double-edged sword. But how do you think Boise State will handle the noise, literally and figuratively? Because it's starting to get national attention. They're playing on ABC, 1:00 UW.
Yeah. No,
that stadium is loud.
One of the loudest in college football.
It's one of the loudest in college football. I've been there. I used to work the game.
If not the loudest. I mean, they've been ranked number 1, college football stadiums multiple times over the years. I don't know, man. That place gets really loud. I mean, Boise State, if it's a packed house, that place gets loud. But I mean, UW is kind of a different animal. I just hope they can go in there and they can make it a competitive game. My biggest, question mark is really if we can stop Michael Penix and we can stop those wide receivers. If we can stop the pass, I think we got a shot. But like I said before, we just cannot let him roll around and, have his way in that pocket. We got to put pressure on him. We got to get to him. We got to get some sacks. We got to get some pressures. We got to get him to make mistakes because if not, he's going to torch us all day long. And, like you said, those guys have some of the best receiving yards in college football, and that doesn't go unnoticed. I mean, they last year, if I'm looking at their schedule right now, they opened up against Kent State. They beat 45-20, Portland State 52-6, Michigan State 39-28, Stanford 40-22, UCLA 40-32. They lost to Arizona State, which is kind of shocking.
Back-to-back games. That's what I'm looking at right now.
Or they lost to Arizona State, and then it looks like they played Arizona and beat them 49-39. 2022.
No, they lost to UCLA and Arizona State. But what I'm looking at is Michael Penix's stats in those games.
Yep.
He threw 2 picks against UCLA and a pick against Arizona State.
And that
when he makes mistakes, there's a chance for us to win.
I'm telling you, I guarantee you those guys put pressure on him. You got to watch film. You got to put pressure on this guy. He's a dual threat. Say back-to-back games, and then they come out, they beat Arizona, Washington. They beat ranked Oregon State only by 3 points. And then they beat ranked Oregon and then, won the rest of the game and won the Alamo Bowl against Texas 27-20, which is a good fucking win for, the Pac-12, even though they're not in it anymore. But I think the biggest thing,
how many false starts do we get?
Oh, man.
Over under.
4.
4?
4.
I think it's over 5.
Really?
I think it's over 5. That fucking stadium's loud as shit, dude. They have that entire, their huge right to left stands are literally cut like they come up and then they bowl out into these big pillars, these pillar things that come down.
Fun
And that
fact.
noise just, ooh.
Fun fact: the same guy that built the Seahawks stadium, the same engineer, built UW Stadium.
Oh,
Yep.
There's a reason why they look the same, because the
Yep.
same guy built them.
I mean, I thought, looking back at that Michigan State game too, I thought Michigan State was going to come in and handle business, and they did not.
No.
They lost by they lost by 11. So
I think the saddest part of this is, as Boise State as a program, is that Washington is a 14-point favorite.
yeah,
That's what's depressing to
that's
me. Is
not
I think
good in college football at all. It doesn't matter who
No.
you're fucking playing. 14-point under, like, that is not good. Having analysts putting you as a 14
If it was 7, I'd be like, okay, we got a
yeah,
chance.
touchdown, that's understandable,
But
but
two
2 touchdowns
touchdowns,
for and like Boise State's a team that has come into preseason ranks, maybe not very high, like 25, whatever, but I mean, we'll see. I mean, this is something we can get into too, but like, let's go into offense first before we get into that. But yeah, I mean, I think as a program, this is a big year. The next couple of years is a big year. See how Andy does. But with this new offensive coordinator, how do you guys see our offense? Are there any loose ties you guys think that are something that,
in order for us to, I'm still thinking about Washington here.
Okay.
When it comes to offense, we have to come out and punch them right in the mouth. We have to score early. I think if we go 3 and out in our like first 2 drives, we're going to be done. It's going to be Oregon State over and again. If we come out and we score in our first 2 drives, we got ourselves a ball game.
Yeah.
We got ourselves a ball game. Like,
it's
if we win this game, it's going to be the 42-35, like that little like high scoring back and forth. We're not going to win by a landslide, but I don't know. It could get ugly
I think
quick.
whether lose by a landslide, lose really close, or win really close.
Yeah.
I don't see us blowing them out. Now, unless they have a really bad first game back.
I just don't see it
But
happening.
I am excited this year for Taylon Green.
Me too.
We'll see how he does. He's established. He's not getting the jitters out. I mean, he didn't really have jitters, if I'm being honest, like watching him play. He seemed pretty cool, calm, collected. But yeah, what do you guys think of Taylon Green? What's something you guys are excited to watch from him?
I'm excited to see him develop as a leader and just kind of
Yep.
He's now leading this program, whether he likes it or not. I think a lot of the stuff he's done off the field is good. He went to Skyview High School recently. He's done a bunch of stuff, bunch of NIL stuff, but I just think that like that is going to translate on the field, and I'm excited to see what that translation looks like. Just trying to make the people around him better, and I think people look up to him, and I think it's a good thing that we finally have somebody at the quarterback position that everyone likes and everyone trusts.
Yep.
To my knowledge.
I definitely agree.
And like, I think with that, everyone trusting and liking him, he's only had 1 season. I mean, Hank was the same way, where his first year, everyone was excited. Again, this is a thing. I think Hank's problem, I'm stealing this from Zush and Diego. They talked about this, but his problem was he never got better. He was always the same. And I know he's had 3 different offensive coordinators, a new coach. Like, he had a lot of stuff that came across his plate that was maybe hard to do it, but ultimately, like, that just sometimes happens in college football. As you get new coaches, you still got to get past that. It's not helping him get any better, but some, like, the great ones just have to kind of get past that. So yeah, I think we'll see with that. But Cody, I know you're a big offensive line enthusiast. So what do you think? What do you think this year for us? What's our offensive line?
Kind of going into the offensive line positions. So we got at center, we have Garrett Curran. He is 6'5", 303 pounds. He's 6th-year senior. He comes into Tin Roof all the time.
I had a class with him. I love him.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He played last year. I believe he played mostly guard.
Left guard.
Left guard. He was, I believe he's a preseason All-American or a preseason All Mountain West team. I believe they gave that to him.
3rd team.
I'm excited to see what he does. Like I said before, centers, they lead the offensive line. Those are the guys calling out the blitzes, calling out the plays, calling out the shifts, all that type of stuff. I'm a little bit nervous at the tackle position. We do have a 6-year senior, 6'6", 308, Cade Beresford. Don't know much about him, but that length and that size is definitely going to help us a little bit. I definitely think. The left tackle, I'm a little bit nervous. Younger guy, Cage Casey, he is 6'4", 307, sophomore, so he's definitely going to have to step it up. And they need to be leaders out there. I think the biggest thing for me, especially, I played small time college football. I was very undersized. I played for a shit fucking community college. But as I remember, dude, you got to get that momentum going quick, because as an offensive line, you got to go out there and you got to punch these guys in the face. It's simple as that. I was undersized and I knew that. I put my hand in the dirt, and you got to get in these guys' fucking faces. The thing is that defensive line for Washington is gonna be big. They're gonna be big and they're gonna be mean. I think we need to come out and we got to punch these guys in the face on offense, on the offensive line. Garrett Curran's got to get these guys going, and we got to run the fucking football. We got Ashton Genty and we got George Holani. Those two guys can fucking run the football. Ashton Genty, he proved it last year. That guy can fucking break it, and he can run you over.
Talk about guys that need to have a big game.
He needs to have a huge
game. They both do. They both do.
George Holani, I need him to have a big game. I need him, to break these runs. I need him to stay healthy.
Yeah.
We need to run the fucking football. We got to establish the tone. That's how you establish the tone. That's how you make the other guy across from you not want to fucking play you anymore. You punch him in the mouth a few times, and those guys are going to fucking, they're going to get tired. Run the fucking football.
If we can get Taylor Green to not run the football, think of it this way. If Taylor Green does not have to run the football, that is a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we need those two backs to carry our run game. Then you have Taylor Green to do it when you want.
Sling it,
when Taylor Green has to run, that's a problem.
Yeah, that is true.
Our guards, I'm pretty confident in our guards. We got some size there. Our left guard is Ben Dooley, 6'5", 300 pounds. I believe he played a good amount last year. He's a redshirt senior.
Yep.
And then on the other side, we got Roger Carrion. I don't remember. Memory's a little bit fogged right now. I don't remember how much he played last year, but he's a redshirt freshman. So I don't believe he played it all last year. He's 6'5", 305. So our offensive line is looking pretty big. And I think that is going to be an advantage. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman,
that's new for us.
Fuck, you got to be licking your chops. If you are an offensive lineman and you got those two guys, Ashton Genty, and you got George Holani, you got to be licking your chops, and you got to put your hand in the dirt and beat the shit out of these guys. You got to be able to establish the run to be able to pass. Taylor Green, he's a big dude. He's 6'6", 6'7". The guy can look over the entire offensive line. If we can,
he's also hard to take down too,
and he's also hard to take down. But I don't want
he's long
to have to run. I don't want him to have to scramble. I don't want him to have to run up the middle and get cracked by a middle linebacker, because I'm sorry, our backup is Maddox Masson, and he's 5'10", 201 pounds. I like the kid. I think he's a good kid, but 5'10", 201, you're not even going to be able to look over our center, who's 6'5".
Yeah.
That is going to be a very, very difficult thing if he's going to have to come in. And, these quarterbacks, man, they start taking off. They start running up the middle. They start, having to make plays themselves. This is where these guys, could get injured. And I don't want that. I think the biggest thing is, like I said, offensive line, running backs, got to be on the same page. Got to be able to fucking pound the rock. And then looking at the wide receiver position, I think the biggest thing, Stephen Cobbs and Billy Bones and Taylor Green, those three have to be on the same page the entire game. There cannot be room for any mistakes.
Maddox is a 3-star quarterback, so he's small, no doubt.
But 3 stars.
He's not a walk-on.
Fork, Utah.
Just a little bit.
So,
a little
but
nervous.
I would rather have Taylor. I'd rather have Taylor.
Yeah. I like the kid. If he has to come in, I'm not, knock on wood, not wishing for that. But I mean, if he has to come in, I mean, he's got to step up. But like I said, Taylor Green and those two main wide receivers, I think they need to get Riley Smith involved a lot more. I
Yep.
think they need to be throwing him the ball all day long. You know, you got these 3rd and 7s, these 3rd and 8s. If our running game is working, this Washington defense starts stacking in the fucking box. Send fucking Riley Smith right up the fucking seams. He's gonna be wide fucking open. Get this guy involved in the passing game more. He's athletic. He's been proven that he can catch the fucking football. Get him involved.
He's our guy. He's our guy.
We have to be able to pass the ball.
He has
because
been
here's the thing. And he's had his years. I believe he got injured last year at some point, correct?
A little bit, yeah. He got banged up.
I remember I saw him.
I know
in
last year he was
somewhere.
very. Did you? I know last year he was very heavy on blocking. Like I know they put him in, used him for blocking a lot. Again, new offensive coordinator. Maybe they'll utilize him more. Hopefully,
it'll be different.
Hopefully they do. Yeah,
Cody, I like your point of like Taylor Green, Stephen Cobbs, and
it's a leadership
Billy Bowens.
thing.
Yeah, they got to be on the same page. I also know like we are gonna make mistakes in this game, but we can't.
Sure.
One, we can't have too many, and two, we got to capitalize on their mistakes. Like we all know shit's gonna happen. Shit's gonna happen, but we can't let it affect us. And like we gotta find a way to like get past it. You know,
it's all about leadership. You know, Taylor Green's got to step up. Stephen Cobbs and Billy Bones got to be leaders out there. Riley Smith got to be leaders out there. The whole team's got to be on the same page.
Yep.
Like I said, they start stacking the box and stop the run. We have to be able to pass the ball. I mean, it's simple as that. We don't pass the ball. I mean, how many times is Michael Penix Jr. going to step on the field and make those mistakes? Probably not many. Like, they start going up by a few points. We know with the past teams, normally what happens. We cannot make a lot of mistakes. Got to be able to run the football, establish the run, set the tone, and get that pass game going. Everybody's got to be on those pages. Those 3 guys that I just mentioned on that passing game, they have to be on the same page. Taylor Green, Stephen Cobbs, Billy Bones. Those 3 guys have got to be on the same page, and they got to be connecting all game long.
Yeah.
Love it.
I think one thing I love about Taylor and Ashton together. So when I worked at Lean Feast, they would always come in together. They live together, if I'm not mistaken. But their chemistry is amazing, and I think partially to that they're both Texas boys. But I don't know, they have good chemistry, and you don't always see that out of the quarterback and running back position. I mean, obviously they're going to be close because they practice together. But I mean, these two living together, both similar in age. I think it's for the next 4 years, we've got a good core. And I mean, George obviously is a great running back. And I'm excited this year for a run game. And I just really hope we can pull out. And I think, the key to this game is to run the damn ball.
Love it.
I think
run the damn ball,
I think
fellas. Run
always
got to be able to establish the run.
Run the ball.
I think it's huge.
Yeah,
it's huge.
Any last thoughts on our matchup?
I think one last thing I can say is got to be consistent. Consistently make stops on defense, consistently be able to make plays on offense. One thing Boise State cannot do is they cannot go 3 and out. They cannot give up big plays, because after that, I mean, we know what happens. They
especially after they score.
Yeah, I don't know if, we go down by a few scores. I don't know if we're going to be able to bring that back. It's just my straight up opinion. So I think we got to come out the gate hot. Everybody's got to be on the same page and be fucking excited. Fuck, you're playing the 10th ranked team in the nation. You got a chance to knock them off on live television, one of the biggest matchups of the fucking game, and you're at UW.
I just kind of got this like weird feeling just
State
now.
Football players,
that like this feels like that Boise State Florida State game where we went to Tallahassee and Bachmeier won the game, came back to win. Like
UCF, you mean?
No, not UCF. They played at Florida State. It was his freshman year.
Oh, that one.
Yes.
Okay.
It was a day game. Like I just kind of like have this feeling that like we might get down, but I feel like we might come back and win.
Yeah.
We could. I told you guys last week. Yeah.
The only thing I got to say about that is
we just can't
lose
to UCF.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing
win this game
also. Yeah, we got to win this fucking game. I mean, this would be a huge momentum starter.
One game at a time.
Florida State, I'm not gonna lie, that was the worst Florida State team in about 15 years. I mean, I remember I was playing community college football, and our coach brought up their offensive lineman and said, "This is the worst offensive lineman core I've ever seen in my entire life." And he's
I
like, "Do
remember you
not play
told me
like
that
them."
story. Yeah, I remember
So
you said that.
even though, yeah, it's big time Florida State, I think it's one of those games. They got to come out hot. They got to come out ready to fucking play.
Yep.
Simple as that.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Cool.
let's
All right.
roll.
Well, enough of Boise State. Let's go Broncos. Let's have them in your thoughts and prayers at night. They're gonna need it, and you know what? They're not gonna need it because I think we got this. But next, we're gonna do a
Gotta be
little
confident,
outlook.
boys.
Yeah, I'm confident in them. I think we can do it. We just need to, like you said, on those points that we made, the couch analysts. Yeah, what we think. But yeah, our next part is the game of the week. What we think as a group, not as a group, individually. Just a game to watch, not necessarily like the best game that's going to happen this week, but just a game that we think is going to be exciting or interesting to watch. Yaya, what's your pick?
I'm going with Clemson at Duke. This is going to be an interesting game. Clemson's ranked 9th in the country. Duke is unranked. It's interesting to me because Clemson has a new offensive coordinator, Garrett Riley, which is Lincoln Riley's younger brother. He just came into Clemson, and new OC there. And they also have a new quarterback, Cade Kublik. He played a couple games last year and was super good. I want to say he played good against Tennessee. I'm not too sure. But he was a freshman last year, so sophomore this year. New OC, new year. He's the man. Taking over for DJ Ungalale. I'm gonna butcher that name too.
He's at Oregon State.
Yeah.
Also, Clemson had a bunch of departures on defense. I feel like that's kind of the underrated thing. Is Clemson is remaking their defense, and they also over the years have had troubles playing against Duke. And the fact that this game is at Duke is
That's huge.
That's huge. I think that
Clemson
is on upset watch, and I think it's going to be a good game.
I think so too.
Cody,
yeah,
what's
that'll be a
yours?
fun game to watch. It's on Monday, by the way. Anyone listening? It's a Monday game.
Gotcha.
I'm kind of looking at a few games. Kind of the first game being UNC versus South Carolina. I think that's going to be a pretty good matchup. You got UNC at 21, and it's at South Carolina. And South Carolina has got Spencer Rattler, who I'm not a huge fan of. I think he's a little rat. And I think at Oklahoma he played like shit, and he had he had a few good games last year. Kind of lit it up against who did he have that? Yeah, against Tennessee, and everybody.
I'm going to the
got hyped up,
rematch.
and and I honestly think UNC is going to pull out that dub. I like I said, I'm not a huge fan of Spencer Rattler. I hope he fails. And falls on his face. He played like shit at Oklahoma and transfers to South Carolina. Thinks he's the man after playing 2 or 3 maybe decent games. Had a good game against Tennessee, and that's about it. So my other game is kind of weird. Just got to pull this up real quick. Is going to be kind of weird, but Tulane versus South Alabama. Now, not a lot of people are looking at this game like, holy shit, I'm going to tune into Tulane versus South Alabama.
That's a Diego pick.
But Tulane
we'll see if they talk about that tomorrow.
Tulane last year actually had a hell of a season.
They did.
Hell of a season. They ended up beating USC, I believe, in that bowl game. Cotton Bowl. And they won by 1 point, I believe. Let me pull up their schedule from last year.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm being a little weird right now with this, but give me 1 second.
No, that'll be fun. I think that'll be a fun game to watch.
South Alabama is not really, very powerhouse by any means, but I think Tulane's kind of on the up and up of getting a little bit more respect in college football. Kind of pulling up their schedule from last year, so they their first game was against UMass huge dub. And then they played FCS Alcorn State, beat them by 52. Then they beat ranked Kansas State by 17. Or not by 17. They won 17-10. That is a huge game because Kansas State ended up being the Big 12 champions, I
Big
believe.
12 champs. Yep.
Then they came out and lost. Yeah, they came out and lost to Southern Miss in a kind of a crappy game. They lost by 3, and they were the 9th ranked team. Then they came out, beat Houston, beat Eastern Carolina, and ended up winning most of their games after that. They lost to UCF by a tutty, and then they beat Cincinnati, UCF again in the what conference do they play in? Is it the
American?
Oh Jesus, the American Conference, and then they ended up beating USC 46-45 in the Cotton Bowl Classic. So I think that's going to be not really an exciting game to watch. I think they're going to blow out South Alabama, but
A team to
I'm
watch. They're a good team
excited
to
to
watch, though.
see what that team does. I think they're an exciting team with an exciting offense. I tuned into a few games last year, and they had an explosive offense. They had a good running back, good quarterback. Who was their quarterback last year? I'm pretty sure he was a well-known dude, if I'm not mistaken. Michael Pratt. Pratt, who was a junior, I believe, this year. I think he still's got a few more years. But he played. I think he's played all his games at Tulane. But I think he's going to be a really good guy to look out for, and I think it's going to be a really good team to look out for. I think they're going to be on the up and up. I mean, shit, they went to the Cotton Bowl last year, so I think they're going to be able to go to one of those bowl games again. But really, my game of the week is definitely going to be that the one that I mentioned before. The
I can't wait for
Carolina.
I can't wait for Tulane to be the second best team in Louisiana.
Yeah. Let's get into that after.
I'm not lying.
No, okay. I mean, yeah,
I think Louisiana Tech's got him. Sorry, buddy.
Okay,
dude,
you're
Hank.
right.
Oh,
You're right.
Yeah, we got to talk about Hank for a little bit after this. But my pick for this week, kind of like Cody's with Tulane, but just a fun team to watch this year, is going to be Colorado versus TCU this week. TCU is ranked 24th, I believe, or no, 17th actually. TCU is actually a 20-point favorite, but I'm curious how Deion Sanders can do. Is this his first year coaching with them, or did he coach last year at all?
Nope, did not.
First year.
He was Jackson
Okay.
State.
That's right. Okay. So yeah, this is his first year. I think it'll be interesting to watch how they do, especially against a big team like that. If they can kind of put them on the rocks, scare them a little bit, make it a little close.
Where's the game at?
20 point. It is at TCU, so it's gonna be tough to do that. But I mean, as an away team, to kind of, I don't know, give them a little, scare them a bit. I mean, how many 5-stars did they get this? I think they got 5
right now
in the 2023 class.
We got to have that game on Saturday.
They got a
that was at 10 a.m.
They got a bunch of boys. They got 51 transfers.
Yeah, so they're gonna be a different team than last year. Yeah. What did they? I think it was it last year or 2 years ago when they went like 0-9 or some bullshit.
Yeah, like they didn't win a game, or they won one game last year or some shit. Like
something like that. But yeah, this is a new team. It'll be exciting to watch them. Coach Sanders, see how he does.
Yeah. I'm excited to watch Travis Hunter too.
Yes, Travis Hunter,
he's
dude, 5-star.
Both sides of the ball too. That's why I'm excited. Is he's playing receiver and corner.
No shit.
I saw a clip on Twitter today, and he was ranking his top 5 or top 4 Heisman favorites, and it went Bo Nix, Caleb Williams, Shred Sanders, who is Deion's son, the quarterback at CU, and then Travis Hunter himself.
Yeah.
And so kind of curious to see how he's going to do. So it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got,
I know Zuch and Diego are going to touch on this in more depth, but did you guys get to watch Hank at all this week or last weekend with Louisiana Tech? Well,
I want to let them break it down too.
Yeah, I want to let them too. I'll pull up just what he did though. He didn't, from what I saw, I knew he threw 1 touchdown, 1 interception, but he had 333 yards.
Not bad.
They only beat them. It's not horrible. I mean, that's pretty good, honestly. 300 yards, 1 touchdown. They only won 22-17 over FIU. This year they play this week they play SMU. We'll see.
Ooh.
We'll be on Hank Watch. But yeah, definitely check into Zuch and Diego's podcast, which will probably be out tomorrow whenever you're listening to this. So yeah, just be on the lookout for that. But
Cool.
Yeah, I think we've got some good week 1 games. Yaya. How did your Tigers look?
How are they looking?
I'm nervous, not because I think we're going to perform bad, but I just feel like we're getting a lot of hype.
Yeah.
And that kind of scares me a little bit. But I also think we're a battle tested team. We return a lot of starters.
I saw that.
We have the right guys in the right positions, and I think that's going to be important. You got Jaden Daniels at quarterback, leading the charge, who I think if he has a good year, he will be a Heisman finalist. Hot take.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it's also a biased take, but I don't give a fuck.
yeah. If anyone has a hot year, I think they have a Heisman finalist.
Yeah. We also got Harold Perkins on the defensive side of the ball. One thing that I thought was cool is I follow LSU football very closely. And for those of you that don't know, the number 7 at LSU is a coveted number for the best player on the team. And it's only given out from the coaches. And some years
Really?
it's not even given out to any of the players. Some of the past players to wear number 7 is Tyrann Mathieu, Patrick Peterson, Derek Stingley, Leonard Fournette. Like, it's dudes.
That is cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Who was wearing it? Joe Burrow the year they won the title. They're undefeated.
Grant Delpit, actually, the safety who went to the Browns.
He was good. He was really good.
He was the captain of the defense, and he was that guy.
Yeah.
They don't give it out to everybody, or they don't give it out every year. It's only when they see fit. And so this year, they actually gave it to our left tackle, Will Campbell, who was a freshman All-American last year. He cannot wear the number 7 because he is a lineman, but he will be wearing the number 7 patch on his jersey. So he will be number 66. But he will be wearing that number 7 patch. And one thing that I thought was cool was
that's dope.
Brian Kelly is now changing it to the best Louisiana player on the team. So you have to be from Louisiana in order to get the number 7. And
cool.
Just like him.
Well, kind of. But
all right, let's get Tigers.
But yeah, I thought it was kind of
cool.
Down
on that cigar, boy.
The other number that's coveted at LSU is 18. It goes to the best defensive player, like specifically defensive player. Some of the past number 18s were Patrick Queen. God, dude, I forgot his name. One of the linebackers for the championship team. There's a ton of them. Lloyd Cushenberry, who was our center, award number 18 as well. It's not just defensive. I'm just realizing that. But anyways, it was given out to one of our linebackers. I fucking forgot his name. One of our transfers. But I'm excited. So those numbers were announced. So I'm ready to watch some LSU football.
Yeah, I'm ready too. Well, just football in general. But
yeah,
I think
pumped.
Let's see, any other good games to watch that we didn't talk about? Florida, Utah, that'll be a fun game to watch.
Yes, on Thursday. We should have gone.
Yes.
I know. Tennessee, Virginia will be interesting. I think
settle down road trip.
Settle down road trip to Utah. That'd have been fun. Tennessee got that 5-star quarterback. I don't think he's starting yet, or he's not going to be starting.
No.
What's his name?
Nico.
Oh, he's Moliavi. I don't know. I'm probably butchering that. I don't even think
starts
that's
with
the
an
right
I.
last name.
Starts with an I.
Yes, it does start.
He's from Inland Empire down in SoCal, I believe. So, 5-star. Dual threat.
Aya Malavia.
I'm in Malavia.
Aya Malayeva.
His name's Nico, right?
Was he a dual threat?
Yeah, Nico.
Dual threat, 5-star, number 2 quarterback.
6'6", 200 pounds.
Yeah, no, he's a dude. He can
5-star.
He will play next year.
Yeah. Well, he'll probably play some this year too.
They got Joe Milton.
Yeah, he does, or they do.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, if the Volunteers continue to play well into this year, I mean, I can see him. He'll continue playing.
Yeah,
He's
for
got
sure, for sure.
an arm.
Um,
I remember watching one of his. I think it wasn't last year's, the year before that. I think he was probably a freshman or maybe a sophomore. But I remember watching him and I was like, dude, this guy cannot throw an accurate deep ball. Granted, that was 2 years ago, so much might have
Joe
changed.
Milton?
But yeah,
Dude,
it was.
I heard he has the strongest arm in the nation.
No, he can toss it, but it wasn't as accurate. This is his sophomore year. He was still young. So we'll see how he does this year. But yeah, I mean, even having Nico on the bench, someone to come in and that'll be exciting to watch him get better. And really just develop. But yeah. As far as week 1, let's get into some festivities and stuff. What is like your guys' highlight for like game day? Mine, for example, I will always blast Seven Nation Army just for the sake of Boise State. That's one of the hype songs. Or no. John Cena's theme song, the one Buster comes out to. When they play that song gets me and even when I hear John Cena's music outside of Boise State, I always think of Boise State, and I think I always will. Even though John Cena is a goat. But yeah, when hearing that song, that just fires me up, and I'll play that usually every morning, along with Seven Nation Army as well.
See, mine's Thunderstruck.
Thunderstruck, yeah, that's a good one too.
Dude, it just
all three of those songs,
heart, man.
Those 3 songs, rank them. For as a Boise State fan, rank those 3 songs on your hype. If you're gonna wake up in the morning,
dude, hold on, let me
morning of game day.
I'm going Thunderstruck, Seven Nation Army, John Cena.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like,
yeah.
We also do like the Blue Thunder, like 2 Thunderstruck. Like they play it at the stadium.
True, yeah.
So it's like, it's got that double meaning too, but like,
yeah,
you just like
no, that's just
get up and you got that juice.
Yeah. Dude, honestly, boys, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, my bad. What were you saying?
No, you're good. I was just reiterating.
Oh, dude, my go-to song. I don't know what it is, man. What it is with this man, but sometimes every once in a while, if I'm getting up in the morning, like early, because I'm gonna be up early. I'm gonna be up.
Yeah.
I don't know
how I'm gonna be able to sleep on Friday.
I probably won't be able to. My go-to place go-to song is "Fortunate Son." By Creedence Clearwater Revival, and that shit, dude. I don't know what it is, man. I just start getting fucking pumped every time I hear that.
You just hear like that intro part, and
it makes me want to just fucking slam 7 brews in like 2 minutes.
Run through a wall.
I just don't know what it is.
If YouTube didn't have copyright, I would play all those songs.
100%.
Yeah.
Can't play those because of YouTube, but
we can all hear them.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I think so. For game day, us 3, we live together, obviously. Those of you that don't know, but we're gonna have some friends over, making a bunch of food, getting up early. This gonna be a fun day. First week is always very exciting. First week, but I could always top. What's better than first week is first home game. So UCF is going to be even more electric.
Yep.
I'm equally very excited, but UCF is just going to be a different animal. Yeah.
I have 3 buddies coming up from Arizona for that game too.
Oh, really?
Tyler Van's coming up. Tyler Van, Ryan, his friend Ryan, and Mitchell. You might have met them. I think you guys met them, but they're coming up for the UCF game. So it'll be hype.
What's like a good as a fan, a good pre-game day like ritual? Like mine, I kind of stole this from Dylan, is having a shower beer, starting off listening to those songs.
Yep.
Start the day off with a shower, get fresh, listening to those songs, having a beer. Great way to start the game day. You guys have anything?
God, dude. Code?
Dude, honestly, I don't have anything really specific. I just try to
try it. Try the one that do it on Saturday. The one that I said.
Yeah, I honestly, I've done that before. I've done that when something, we've done something exciting, like super early in the morning. I'll get up and I'll have a beer in the fucking shower. Gets me fucking going. Or I'll just be like, in my mirror, like just having a little pep talk, fucking blasting some music, combing the hair back. I'd be like, let's fucking get it, dude. Like, fucking college football is back.
See, for me, I think recently, being an LSU fan, I watched the 2019 hype video that they played before the national championship. I watched that and I'm just like, yep, I could run through a brick wall.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's not Boise State related, but like that shit gets me hyped. So like,
yeah,
I'm just hyped for football, for Boise,
football
for
in general.
everything.
Yeah. And the day is not all Boise State, especially what does not suck, but the one downside about when living here is, especially for those game days, like all I'm focused on is Boise State, especially if it's a home game. These away games, you can kind of focus on other games, but yeah, I mean, I guess if we have a night game, you can watch all the games during the day.
But it's not the same.
It's not the same. It really isn't.
See, for me,
but it also adds to it adds to the excitement, though. I mean, I think if I was anywhere else, not in like a college town or where you could watch a game live, or where the town is all, it might be a little different.
Well, yeah, because dude, Broadway is like, I wouldn't say shut down, but like there's people walking and people doing things at all the restaurants. Like that shit is lit. Like we kind of take that for granted a little bit, just because
when we're down the street,
not having the best
we do
seasons. But like,
yeah,
you gotta appreciate living in a college
general.
town with college football. Like that shit's hype.
Yeah. What is now that we've been excited, I'm gonna bring us down a little bit so we can go to bed soon. But what is the most disappointing game you guys have been to, or just experienced at Boise State?
I fucking know this answer.
I know Cody's answer. Cody, go.
I think we're all the same, but go.
Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
I don't give a flying fuck what anybody says.
Yep.
We came out, fucking packed stadium, not a fucking seat, empty, hyped as fuck, had all the boys there. Everybody was there, dude. It was hyped. We go up 20 to fucking, I believe it was 20-0 or 27 at halftime. And then Tim Plow, the fucking fried chicken taco, greasy sandal wearing fuck at Cal Berkeley now, or UC Davis, can suck my fucking cock. That guy ruined it. He literally soiled himself at halftime and ruined my entire fucking night. I literally walked out of that stadium, never seen a whole fucking 35,000 people so disappointed. Like not a single person had their head up. Everybody heads down. Diego flips off a fucking kid. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was the worst time ever. I just will never forget that. That was just a horrible experience.
Yeah, I had that same experience. I mean, obviously we're all there together. I remember taking a photo. Ryan was like, "Do you want to take a photo?" I was like, "Yeah," and it was just thumbs down.
Yeah.
I think last year a big kicker too was BYU. That one was
mine.
Impresso.
That was a tough one, dude.
Really? Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Especially after beating them the year before, which I know we've talked about, and it was kind of a fluke game for them, but still, like,
but we also went to that game.
Yeah, and it was at home. Like we beat them away, which is awesome, fun for us that went. But
that call at the end of the game was bullshit.
Yeah. No, I remember that was the one game that I was watching the LSU game on my phone, but also at the game. I haven't done that at any other game. That was when LSU played Alabama. And so I am half watching LSU and Alabama on my phone.
LSU won, didn't they?
That's when LSU beat Alabama on the 2-point conversion at the end. I was hammered 15 fireball shots deep. I remember at one point it was dead quiet because BYU just got a first down, and I'm screaming because we just picked off Bryce Young on like the second drive of the game, and I'm like freaking out. And everyone's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I was like, "We just picked him up." It just like was freaking out. And then I remember like as the game kept going on, you were too hammered, Sean, but you kept cheering for LSU. You're like, fucking hate Alabama. And so anytime LSU like did anything good, I'd be like, we fucking scored. And like our whole row just like erupted, and everyone was like, what the fuck is happening?
Looking back at us, I don't remember that, but
yeah, but it was just like one of my favorite memories of just like watching the LSU Alabama game while watching the demise of Boise State losing to BYU. It was just like the perfect combo of like good and bad.
The duality of football.
The duality of football. You couldn't have said it any better. Yeah.
The disappointment right in front of your face, and also the excitement on your phone.
Yep.
But yeah, fellas, I'm excited this week. Do you have any last remarks coming in with the week before we wrap it up?
I'm gonna be sad if LSU loses to Florida State, so you might not hear from me. If I have to hear one tomahawk chop chant from either one of you, you will be dead to me.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Florida State's looking mean this year, so we'll see what happens.
I will
Hey,
personally kill both of you if I
go
hear that
Broncos.
anytime on Sunday.
Go
Yeah,
Broncos, go Tigers, go Sooners. We're fucking playing Arkansas State on Saturday morning. I swear to fucking God, I'm gonna be screaming at the TV if we let that team score them more than 21 points. I will be screaming at the top of my lungs.
I agree.
Oklahoma's not looking too hot this year. As most of you know, I'm a big Sooners fan. Been a Sooners fan all my life. We've been very, very, very rough the last few years. I don't even know how the fuck we're ranked 20th in the nation, but yeah, we'll see what happens. I hope we kind of shock the nation, and hopefully in the next few years we'll be a lot better than we have been, and our defense gets a lot bigger because that's our biggest fucking problem when we're going into the SEC. So go Sooners, go Broncos, and go Tigers.
Another thing, if you guys are coming over this weekend and you're listening to this episode, let us know. I want to know if you got to this far.
Right here at this point. Say Sean, Yaya, and Cody. What's a code word we could use? Not settle down, but like
buttermilk pancakes.
Buttermilk
pancakes.
Down. Just
if
tell us
listening to this.
Butter
or
sausage.
Texas, actually.
Where it's been.
I want to know
where it's been at.
We all want to know. We're gonna do this actually a lot. We'll start doing this.
Okay.
If you get to this point at the video, the very end, even if you skip to it and skipped ahead, we don't care. Just that you're watching at this point when we're just talking about bullshit on our ass. Tell us buttermilk pancakes. That's all you got to say. We'll know. No one else will know unless they know too. But yeah, tell us that. Other news, as you guys have seen, we've got a bunch of, well, not a bunch, 200 new shows are starting. Zooch and Diego's have already started their filming tomorrow. So theirs will probably be out Thursday, hopefully, if I can get to it. And then the NFL one with Keaton, Zach, and Anthony will be next week.
Yes, sir.
With the new stuff. But yeah, be sure to follow all of them too. Well, we're all on the same channel, but follow along with them. They're going to be putting in a lot of work. So if you like what we talked about, you're probably going to like what they're talking about because we're all family on this.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, make sure to follow all of us on all of our socials. Links will be in everything. And everyone have a great rest of your day, wherever point you're watching this, and buttermilk pancakes.
Settle down.